Are you looking to move to Matawan, New Jersey? Well, I got just a video for you. Today we're going to be checking out everything that you need to know before moving to Matawan. We're going to go over the school districts, the location, commute to work, the beaches, and everything else. But before we get started, if it's your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon, and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. On the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you want to be the first one to know what's going on in either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get the video started. All right, guys, so let's just kick it off with the map tour here. So right now, we're going to be looking at a little bit of an outline of what Matawan looks like. And if you scroll out a little bit here, you'll notice it's going to be in the northern part of Monmouth County. So Monmouth County pretty much goes, the Old Bridge right here is going to be Middlesex. So I would say mostly the northwest part of Monmouth is going to be Matawan. It's going to come all the way around here along the east coast. Kind of just follow the cursor a little bit here, and then goes down, goes out this way west towards the New Jersey Turnpike. And if you go a little farther south here, it's going to cut across Howell, Freehold, and end up right in Manasquan. That's going to be the southernmost point for us, right next to Point Pleasant. So Middlesex, or I'm sorry, Monmouth is going to be a pretty large county in New Jersey, and then Matawan is going to be a smaller part of it. It's in great terms. I know we're a little far out here now, but at this point, but you can see Matawan's going to be right here. Of course, it went all the way in on me. But Matawan will be right there, and then you're going to be closer to New York City than you will be to Philadelphia. So when we get into the commuting part in just a second, you're going to notice it's going to be easier to get into New York City than it is to get into Philadelphia. So if you are going to work at one of the two, highly recommend checking out New York City because that's going to be easier of the two options. If you want to get into an airport, that's always a big thing for a lot of people. You go on vacation. The closest airport is going to be in Newark. This is going to be in the northern part up here as you kind of get into New York City, or right before you get into New York City. So that's going to be this area right here. And I would say you're looking at about half an hour, 45 minutes at the absolute most, obviously depending on traffic that day, but usually the traffic before is not going to be that bad to get to Newark. It's from like Newark to New York City. That's where you're going to hit the majority of it right there. So we're going to head into that right now. So there's three main ways you can commute into New York City. That's going to be just driving yourself, taking the bus, or taking the train. Now, driving yourself, the easiest route, at least in my opinion, is going to be going up the Garden State Parkway here, and then going through 190 or I-95 or the New Jersey Turnpike. They do intersect. And when we're talking about getting into New York City, majority of the time it's going to be the Manhattan area. So that's going to be one route right here. You can get into the cut through Hoboken on this side if you want to. I don't really necessarily recommend it, but you can also cut through Staten Island. That's probably going to be one of your more traffic congested areas. So you can work in other areas too in New York, right? You got Staten Island, like you just mentioned, New York City, Manhattan area. You can have Brooklyn out there, Queens, whatever the case is. They're all going to be within play for you. But just know that, I mean, majority of the time, New York City, that's Manhattan's like the main place to go get jobs here from New Jersey. The reason people live in New Jersey and then also work in New York City, one, better money, but then two, better quality of life here in Jersey. So we went over the airport and the commute to work so far. That's just driving yourself. The train, on the other hand, you're going to have a station that's going to be inside of Matawan. So I'm going to zoom in real quick for you. Technically, I think it's just outside. I think it's in Aberdeen, but it's going to be the Aberdeen Matawan station, and it's going to be right here. This will be the last stop in Monmouth County before you get into Middlesex and then going up north more. But yeah, so it's going to be just outside here. So in the more northeastern part of Matawan, that train will take you into Penn Station, and that's going to run you about an hour and 15, hour and 10 minutes from this location, this stop right here. The last option is going to be taking the bus, and pretty much they're going to have different bus stops throughout all over the place, all right? You're going to have some on the western side of Route 9 over here. You'll have some on Route 34, and then the Garden State Parkway, I don't know exactly where it's at on this photo, but they have a park and ride over in the Sayreville area too. So plenty of different spots you can get to on the bus, and that's also going to run you about an hour and hour 15, hour and a half, give or take, right? There's gonna be a little bit more traffic on the bus than there will be the train, and kind of a similar situation for when you're driving yourself. I don't think I mentioned the time frame, but if there is zero traffic to get into New York City, we'll pull it up real quick here. You can get to New York City in about an hour's tops, like maybe at the absolute most. This says 50 minutes, right? I'm recording this at almost 8 o'clock at night, so obviously not gonna be any much traffic going that direction right now. But let's say you want to depart in the morning. We'll change that to 6 a.m., right? Now it's from 50 minutes to an hour and 20. You move that up to 7 a.m. Okay, 55 minutes to an hour and 40 minutes. So just obviously, when more cars are on the road, traffic's going to get backed up. And there's only so many bridges to get, if you can notice right here, there's obviously all waterways to get in from New Jersey into New York City. So any way you look at it, you're gonna have to cross a bridge at one point, and they do get backed up pretty heavily sometimes. And God forbid there's an accident, some bad weather, then you could be looking at that hour 40 mark more than the hour mark that you prefer. So Matawan is though in a great location in order to get into New York City, and one of the better ones in Monmouth County. Moving on a little bit, just some kind of the school districts, big thing for a lot of young families. So obviously I want to kind of just cover that right now. I use niche.com, however you say it. Let me actually know down in the comments what you think. I just say niche.com. But the Matawan Aberdeen Regional School District. So you got Matawan and Aberdeen. They're going to be towns right next to each other. And oftentimes, if you're from the area, you'll hear people say, oh, the Matawan Aberdeen area. That's just kind of like how they're intertwined, but they are separate municipalities. They do use the same use the same school system though. So Matawan Aberdeen ranks 5th best school district in Monmouth County. And that comes with pretty high regards because there's a lot of school districts in Monmouth County and a lot of them are highly rated. So the fact that it's going to be in the top 5 means something. Now, there's going to be quite a few different schools in here because obviously you're dealing with kids from Aberdeen and kids from Matawan, but it houses just under 4,000 students. It houses K through 12 and has a 13-to-1 student teacher ratio. There's going to be 5 elementary schools, kind of get to in a second, 5 elementary, 1 middle, and 1 high school. The high school is going to be rated A-. Now, again, if you want to use great schools, niche.com, whatever source you use, Aberdeen or the Matawan Aberdeen School District should rank pretty highly within there. And here's just kind of gives you a snapshot of where the schools are going to be located, right? So you're going to have the high school is going to be right in pretty much in the center for the most part, but then you're going to have different elementary schools, one in Matawan, one in Aberdeen. So they kind of gives you an idea there. And then I think this is the middle school. Which middle school at? There we go. The more northern part. So quite a few different options for you, but if you're looking for best bang for your buck for houses, also good school district, Matawan's a really solid location on top of commuting. And that's why we're kind of seeing a big influx of a younger generation going into there, whereas previously it was probably an older generation. They're starting to move out a little bit. So it's a really good spot, decent school district as well. I shouldn't even say decent. It's actually a pretty good one. It's going to rank in the top 3rd for New Jersey, and New Jersey itself as a state actually ranks most charts, most rankings usually have Jersey in the top 2, 3, or at the very least 4th in line of all the 50 states. So if you're in the top 3rd of also like the top 3 states, I would say it's pretty good. Then you have diversity wise, it's in the top 25%, and then athletes wise, top 0.5% or top 50%. But overall, really good school district. I don't think you can go wrong with going there. There's not a ton of bad ones in Monmouth County in general, so I wouldn't say you can really go wrong in most parts of Monmouth County, but there are some, don't get me wrong, but Matawan Aberdeen, not going to be one of them. And here's just a couple of other stats and stuff to go on with it. They have some ratings from previous students on there, so you can go on there. I use niche.com again, so feel free to go check out either Matawan Aberdeen or just some other school districts in Monmouth if it's somewhere you're looking to move. Next up, we're going to want to go over some housing statistics. And this is going to be checking out Matawan in general. I have both active, coming soon, pending, and closed sales on here. I'm just going right through our MLS over here. This makes my life a little bit easier rather than trying to show you on the maps over there. But also, if you're looking to move to the area, kind of a shameless plug, but being in real estate, I'd love to help you on your move to Monmouth County. Feel free to call, text, email, reach out to me anyway. All my contact information will be in the description down below. If you're finding some value from this, I hope you are, and just let me know if there's anything we can do to help you on your move over here. I have people reaching out, so don't be shy. People that are planning even 3, 6 months, 12 months ahead of time. So anything doesn't matter to me. We'll just get you going. So moving on here, you kind of break it down to 3 categories, right? You have your adult communities, condos, and townhomes, and then you got your single families. Adult communities, to my knowledge, I think there's only 2 in Matawan, or is there just 1 now? Yeah, there's only going to be 1. This is going to be the Cheesequake area. It's going to be the more northern part. So these are going to be 1-story condos in a sense, but they are adult communities. They're still going to be listed under here. Just give you an idea from the photos. So they're going to be single story, but they're going to be multi-level, right? So you'll have a upper and a lower level for them. And then price range wise, you can see, obviously this one looks like it needed a little bit of work possibly, but otherwise $235 to $285 is going to be your range for an adult community. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, you got 2 bedrooms on these. So decent sized ones, adult communities, they're going to be hit or miss with some of them, obviously depending on the HOA, what's available to them, what amenities are provided, right? Do they have a bus that takes them, some of the senior citizens to a different area to go either hang out, go on different events. I don't know too much about Cheesequake Village. I haven't worked in there myself personally, but this is going to be your only option if you're looking to move into the Matawan area. Next up, when it comes to condos, So we have 20 of those sold over the last year. We had 109 sales altogether when we had all three of them lit up. So condos and townhomes and adult communities are going to make up a smaller portion versus these single families, right? So looks we got a couple different communities over here. We'll drop down to this main one over. A couple more sales in this shot. These I have shown before, they're going to be in between the $400,000 and $500,000 range. But even the majority of them, as you can see, they're all going to be pretty much in that same price range, right? You got 420, 429, 435. You got up into the 500s. Here you do have a little bit lower of one that's 300,000. That's not bad. These like $200,000 ones, not necessarily the best community or nicest community that I've seen in just Monmouth County in general. They're not bad, but I've seen more rentals here than pretty much owner occupied ones. So just kind of give you an idea of that. But outside of that one development, you're pretty much looking at 400 all the way up to 565 for some townhomes. So they're in a pretty good location. Again, I mean, realistically, you're looking at anything between Route 34 here. You can just follow the cursor, Garden State Parkway, Route 35, Route 36, Route 9 on the west over here. So there's so many different roadways going through and even just around Matawan. Commuting wise, just getting around Monmouth County, Middlesex County, you're in a really good location there. And then last but not least, we're going to have our single families. Price ranges are here are going to be a lot greater than the other two adult communities and condos. You're going to see 85 sales, and they're going to be spread out throughout Matawan. Just ignore some of these outliers here. I don't know why they got pinned over there, but there's not necessarily a single development just in Matawan that you could possibly live in, right? So you can go a little farther south in the heart of town over here. You can also go into the more northern part. It really doesn't matter. You're going to find development and a single family home for you. Like I said, price range wise, they're going to vary pretty greatly. Obviously, just kind of ignore like these 350s, maybe these low 400 ones. They're not going to be necessarily as move-in ready. I would say for Matawan itself, you're going to be looking at about 500 to 700 as like your bulk of your sales. And then you can start creeping up into the eights. And there's even, I think, one development that's going to be in the $1 million range too. So just kind of give you an idea. So prices. You can find some. I mean, listen, there's going to be other ones in like the 400 to 500 range, probably on the more the smaller side. So you got these 2-bedroom ones, 3 bedrooms. So it is possible to find something a little bit smaller, but majority of the time, like I said, they're going to be in that 5 to 7 range, which is common for Monmouth County. So the average or the median sales price is going to be about $675,000 for Monmouth County. So you can find a little bit cheaper in Matawan, which is a good thing because there's not too many of those spots left anymore. And it's surrounded by some pretty wealthier areas like Homedale's a big one. Red Bank's a little further east, so that's going to be out there. But there's quite a few of them that aren't going to be more obtainable for that first-time home buyer, whereas Matawan definitely is. And in terms of bang for your buck too, right? You can get a 4-bed looking right here, a 4-bed home for $540,000. That's in New Jersey itself, and this one looks actually relatively pretty updated. Little older decor, but flooring looks good in there. I would just switch out the furniture. Kitchen looks great. So it's harder to find that in Monmouth versus maybe a different county in New Jersey. If you go a little bit farther south to Ocean, I live in Brick, which is in Ocean County, you can find much more affordable homes. Taxes aren't even as bad too. And speaking of taxes, so about 60% of your home taxes or property taxes are going to go towards a school district, which is obviously a big thing in terms of New Jersey, right? Having a higher school district or having higher school district ratings. So this home right here, $535,000, you're paying 11,000 in taxes. So it's not going to be cheap by any means. New Jersey has, I think, the highest property taxes in the states, if I'm not mistaken. But if not, it's definitely also top 3, just like the school district is. So kind of goes hand in hand. But 60% of your taxes in Matawan are going to go towards your school district, 30% to municipality. I think it's like 9% for the county, and then 1% for the library. So library's not getting too much love over there. But just to kind of give an idea of the price ranges for the single family homes here in Matawan. If you go to the other end, like I said, they can get into the $1 million range and a little bit more of an exclusive neighborhood, but majority of them, right? You're going to see between, hold on, I'll make this easy myself here. So we got 85 homes sold, active, coming soon, and pending right now. So if we're going to go in between list price, I would say 500 to 700,000. 35 out of the 85. So you're looking at roughly 40% of them, give or take, right? 40, 45%, somewhere in that range, just under 50. But that's going to be the bulk of them. Moving on, next thing we're going to want to cover is going to be the shopping and the dining options here. Getting rid of our beautiful artwork there. Getting back into Matawan. Route 34 is going to be your main spot that you're going to be doing a lot of your shopping on. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be in Matawan itself. So on the southern border over here that meets with Aberdeen, sorry about that. This is going to be like your main location for stopping and shopping in this area. Also Route 34 in general. But for food stores, ShopRite of Aberdeen is going to be right there. Stop and Shop literally on the other side of the street, a little farther past there. Lavodi's Old World Market. That's kind of like your Italian deli style food stores. They have really good cheeses over there, fresh mozzarella. Highly recommend checking them out. They've been opening more stores recently. We actually got one down in Brick by me just now, so gotta go check that out. But there's one in Freehold. Got this one over here in Aberdeen. I think there's another one in Middletown. So they're kind of expanding a little bit too. Got the bowling alley over there. So Route 34, that's going to be your big spot. But that's also going to be in the southern portion of Matawan, like we just mentioned, right? You're also not going to be very far from Route 9 over here. So if you're on the western side, you want to take 34 out. I'll highlight that for you. Take Route 34 out this way. Come down to 9. Right over here, you're going to have the ShopRite of Old Bridge. There's a Target over there. That development is going to be very new, probably within the last year, 2 years at the absolute most. So those are going to be really nice. So in that range, if you want to go on to the other side, if you live in the northern part of Matawan or Aberdeen in that region, you're going to have Route 35 all throughout here in Hazlitt. So this is going to be a great location. Zoom in for you. Again, same kind of stores. You're going to have Home Depot. There's a Lowe's that's not showing up right there. You're also going to have ShopRite at Hazlitt. So if you want food stores, every direction you go, you're going to pretty much have something. Lidl's over there. Costco, that's a big one for a lot of people. So shopping, if you're living in Matawan, not going to be an obstacle to you at all. Sorry, it's late. If I'm stuttering a little extra, my apologies. Next up, if you want to just talk about just the dining options for you as well, my favorite's going to be Maloney's Pub and Grill. I go there. I wish I could say I go there more often. I don't live the closest to it, but anytime I'm in the area, I make it a point to stop by there. Some really good onion rings, some shrimp appetizer over there, and just overall in general a really good vibe. It's going to be more of a, like I said, it's Pub and Grill right next to it. They're going to have about 100 beers on tap. So if that's something that you're into, definitely recommend checking them out. This Main Street area is going to be kind of like their downtown section for Matawan. So you're going to see a lot of different, some restaurants in here. You got a Mexican spot, but just also a lot of small businesses. So you got a dentist right there, a financial group, taxes, museum, bike shop, another Italian restaurant. So this is going to be like that downtown, like Main Street area for like you'll see in different towns. So highly recommend going through there. They are under a little bit of construction the last time I went through. So they are trying to upgrade just the area in general, but that's going to be like the main hub for Matawan right there. And then also, again, Route 34, you go up and down there, you'll find some different, Taco Bell is just pointing itself out right here, but some fast food joints over there. The Park Place Diner is actually really good. Pizza joint. Oh, MJ's, that's a really solid spot actually. So it's gonna be right on the water. There's a little bit of a lake over here, and you can actually have some outdoor seating overlooking the water. And again, it's more like a bar, restaurant kind of thing. So your typical like burgers, that'll be good there, and a couple other just different bar menu items to get there. But MJ's also has a couple different locations here in Jersey, so they're not chained by any means, but a successful franchise that's just kind of expanding a little bit in NJ. So in terms of eating, really good options in Matawan. And if you want a little bit more like higher end, high scale, if you zoom back out here for Matawan, you can either just drive right down the parkway over here and you'll find yourself over in Red Bank. Literally 50 to 75 restaurants probably over there and a lot of different high-end ones. There's a couple different steak places. B2 Bar and Bistro just showed up and just disappeared on me, of course. There we go. So we'll be right over here. And there's also, if you don't want to drive yourself, you want to go have a night out, drink a little bit, have some fun. Train station's also right here in Red Bank. So if you want to just go on go a little farther south from Matawan down to Red Bank, maybe 15, 20 minutes at the absolute most. So you can get there multiple different ways. If you want to go for a night out, take the train, Uber back to your house or whatever the case is. But if you want a higher end experience, you got Red Bank pretty close by, or just stick to Matawan. So there's good options there too. The last thing I want to cover is going to be the different entertainment options. Also, a ton of things to do here as well. So right to the north, you're going to have Cheesequake State Park. It's obviously by just the size of it, I don't have the exact mileage or acreage, but it's going to be quite large. And there's a lot of different things that you can do there. So you can go fishing, hunting. Believe it or not, there's actually some really good crabbing, apparently. I don't go fishing and crabbing. It's not my thing. But from what I've heard, and it's even posted on their site, that's going to be a pretty main one over there. Go camping. Make sure you just reserve it in advance. I don't know the exact rules on. Again, I'm not more the outdoorsy person. Hike. They have some hiking trails. I think 5 of them. There are some that are specifically just for biking over there too. So if you like to go biking, you can check that out. But Cheesequake State Park is definitely going to be the biggest outdoors thing that you can do here, or at least close to the Matawan area. Whoops. Delete that. As we zoom back out, if I could ever figure this out, there we go. You are going to be close to a couple of different beaches. So you got the Keyport, Cliffwood, Union Beach, and Keensburg Beach. That's going to be definitely the closest ones to the Matawan area. Nothing wrong with them. They're decent, but they're not the typical like Jersey Shore towns in a sense. Keensburg will probably be the closest to that because they're going to have an amusement park and a water park over there. So it's temporarily closed right now. That's just because we're in the winter time or the fall, heading into the winter. Obviously, we're not going to be doing that. It's pretty cold here in Jersey. But so you got the water park, amusement park, and you're going to have the beach over there. They are building Keensburg up, so that wasn't necessarily like the best area 10, 15 years ago. But when we had a pretty big hurricane that came through, wiped out a lot of stuff over there, it was pretty significant damage out of all the towns probably in New Jersey, or not New Jersey, but the Jersey Shore, Monmouth County. Keensburg probably got the hit the hardest, but since that, they've actually restored it pretty well, and it's on the up and coming. You can still find some affordable housing there, but if I had to take your guess, in about 5 to 10 more years, they're also probably going to see a significant increase in price. But if you want that more traditional Jersey Shore beach vibe, I would go a little farther south here. By a little, I would say probably like 25 minutes, half hour down the parkway. So nothing crazy, very drivable. So from Matawan, Garden State Parkway, down this way, you're going to be into Belmar, Asbury. This would be Belmar like right here. And if you want to go a little farther south into Point Pleasant, that's going to be Ocean County, but that's also a really good destination spot. They have a boardwalk, games, and a bunch of stuff to do for your family. So that's like the really traditional, like what you think of Jersey Shore kind of in a sense, if you've ever seen a TV show. Boardwalk games, rides. They have got mini golf down there. So that's going to be like Point Pleasant will be that. But if you just want the Jersey Shore aspect, go, again, a beach house for the summer, a week, a month, whatever the case is, Belmar is definitely like top dog for that. They have a really good nightlife over there between a couple different bars. Go to the beach during the day, hang out at night. That's a good spot. Asbury's also going to have a bunch of things to do. They have the convention center over there, beach and boardwalks, obviously like one of the world famous ones that they call it. And then a couple different music joints too that you can go over there from Wonder Bar. The Stone Pony, they host different concerts. T-Pain was there this past year and a couple different country guys. So you're about a half an hour from that. So that's a great entertainment spot as well. If you want to just go, check out a concert, you don't want to drive that far down, well, you're in luck because if I do that one more time, it's getting ridiculous now at this point. I keep forgetting the X out of that. The Penn. Where are you at here? Off the Garden State Parkway, you're not showing up though. There we go. So if you live in Matawan, I don't have the exact mileage on it, but from here to here, PNC Bank Arts Center probably holds about 20,000 people for a concert venue. It's an excellent spot. They have country concerts all the time over there. I've seen Luke Bryan, excellent, played for 2 hours. That was awesome. Thomas Rhett's been there. Even Adam Sandler did something over there. So they have a bunch of different big names and some smaller ones too. So you can catch anything there. If you don't want to do that and you want something that's going to be indoors year round. Wow, I did it again. I just said I wouldn't do it. Sayreville's also going to have a spot. I don't know if it's going to show up for me or not. Oh, it will. Okay, perfect. So from like from Matawan all the way over to here, probably say it's about 15, 20 minutes. You're going to have Starland Ballroom. Again, they have a lot of big acts. It's a much smaller industrial looking park. It's actually really cool if you've never been before. Highly recommend checking them out. But that's also going to be an indoor venue. So a bunch of different bands that play there. Their music's going to vary greatly. You can have like a pop punk concert one night to rap, R&B the next. It all depends, but that's also going to be a really good spot to go hang out at. So there's nothing short of to do. If you like golf, there's a couple different golf courses. One just opened up near that Cheesequake area, Old Bridge. They have pretty good ratings there. And plus you're in Monmouth County, which has a lot of greenery around. You go a little farther south to the Freehold, Albert Millstone area. There's a couple good courses there. Belmar and Wallach, we just talked about, going farther south there. So if you're in the golf, highly recommend getting a county card because that's going to be a lifesaver and definitely a money saver too. So If you have any questions though, guys, those are pretty much the main gist of everything. I'm sure I missed a little bit of something kind of rattling it off, but if you're looking to move to the Matawan area, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is going to be down low in the comments and description. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, it doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you're looking to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out 2 videos popping up and hopefully help you out a little bit too. Have a great day.